Alright guys, welcome back to another video. We are going to be jumping back on the Chevy C20. Start getting into the mechanical side of things. If you guys saw last video, then you know we did a little over like a walk around showing the rust and maybe what we want to do going to pick it up. If you haven't seen that video, go back and watch it. This thing's probably completely stock with a cast iron intake.
Yeah.
They were probably trying to make it a little bit of a hot rod running headers.
Ruben said that the way those valve springs are in there is a junk. You know, those are junk heads. But they're good enough to run and drive. Not a race car. You know?
Yeah.
They got those weird rotators in there.
So we're gonna take out the valve covers, show what's going on in there. We're probably gonna put the motor on top dead center. Then we are also gonna take off the intake manifold and see how things look down there in the oil valley. Let's see what's going on under this, because this one's already unbolted. Well, they're both unbolted. Let's see here. Any more washes? No, we're good. Well, someone did some sort of painting. You can see there's some paint right here. Down there at the bottom does look kind of gunky. Maybe that's just old paint. Some of these rockers are actually rusted a little bit. This nut's rusted. This top of this rocker arm's kind of rusty. Multiple of them are. And when you take off the valve cover, you can smell a bunch of old gas. This reeks of old gas. What's the other side look like? Oh, this side looks a little bit better, but it's got blue paint and orange paint. They're not rusty though. But my dad was pointing out that some of these are kind of loose. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be that way. We're not 100% sure if these rockers are adjustable or if they're like my Falcon where you just tie them down and then they're done. But on my Falcon I have studs or bolts. These ones have studs.
Take the cap off. Give me that little screwdriver you got right there.
Did you need that?
I guess not.
Alright, so now we're gonna pull. There's a bunch of junk on top of this right here.
Why don't we blow it off?
Yeah, let's blow it off. We're gonna take out the distributor. There's a bunch of dirt and stuff right there. We're just gonna go ahead and blow that off so it doesn't fall in the motor. So we're gonna take off the intake manifold real quick. Alright, so we got this top hose off. And a bunch of stuff came falling out of it. This thing is completely blocked with, oh yeah, look at that. Oh, it goes way in there. Should take the neck, take the water neck off.
Yeah.
It goes all the way in there.
I think we take it off after. I wonder if it has a thermostat in it. It's blocked at the thermostat.
But we have all of the bolts out.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be taking the intake manifold off right now. We're gonna see what it looks like under there. And once we take the intake manifold off, then we'll probably pull the housing off here for the thermostat. It's like dust. It's like chalk.
Is there a thermostat in there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good thing.
So we'll leave it there for now.
Yeah, hopefully it stopped it. Stopped most of it. This thing is no good anyways. Needs a new one.
Yeah, there's a thermostat there.
Good. Blow it off. No, don't blow it.
Look at that. Look at all that junk in there.
There you go. Oh, but on the other side, not bad.
Oil in it.
Green water.
Okay.
There it is.
Whole set came out. Let's try again.
You're gonna take it off.
This thing's not gonna be light, huh?
Nope.
Okay, this little step's not gonna work for me.
Finger. There you go.
So yeah, actually doesn't. Looks pretty good in here. Doesn't look too bad. Looks kind of clean. Just a little bit of stuff from the crud on the thermostat housing. Dead spider in there. Looks pretty good though. The bottom of the intake manifold looks pretty decent. It's got a little whatever that is. That's fine. It's clean. It's not all gunked up. So after getting off the intake manifold and we're looking down the ports so we can see the valves, because this truck sat out with no air cleaner, the carburetor wasn't even tight. So my dad's worried that there's a possibility that there could be like a nut or a washer or something down in one of the cylinders. But after looking down the ports and looking at the valves, this one right here, it's kind of rusty looking, and I look down inside, you can see that there's a lot of buildup, a lot of like mushy, rusty looking material. So we don't want to run that through the cylinder, so we're gonna end up pulling the heads off. We gotta take the headers out. We still gotta pop off all these rockers and clean up the rust, and then put it all back together. And we're probably not gonna get the whole head redone, but those particular valves that look rusty or look like they may have a problem, we'll take the valve out and we'll lap the valve and make sure that the seat's clean so that we get a good seal. So that's gonna be the plan for now. And if we run into more problems when the heads are off, then we'll address those problems as we go. So we're over here removing all the head bolts so we can take the head off. We got all of them out. But there was one right here that either broke or I don't know. It's just, we're hoping we can lift the head up past that. We're gonna see what happens here. And hopefully the stud will be sticking up so we can take it out that way. All right, so we managed to get the driver's side off, and somebody dropped the head, sorta. It just slid off, no big deal. We're gonna pick it up with a chain right now. All right, well, I didn't show it on camera, but because of the way the head was, I wasn't really have the patience to try to put all the little bolts in it or whatever, so I just picked it up by hand. It actually wasn't as heavy as I thought it was gonna be, but this is what the pistons look like. The back one's got some rust in it. Don't look that great.
I think it's gonna
be okay.
I think it'll live.
Put some Scotch-Brite in there.
Yeah, some WD-40.
Yeah, just kind of clean it up a little bit. It'll be all right.
All right.
This is what the head looks like. Two of them were getting some moisture back there. This one needs a little bit of work though.
Battery's dying.
Those batteries really don't last very long at all anymore, huh?
That's it. Yeah, see, now we can start here. Take that springs apart. First, maybe do the exhaust intake. Take the spring apart. Make sure it's all nice and clean. Clean the seat. Put some lapping grease on there. Lap the valve. Get a nice seat on there. Put it back together and do the second one. We could do every one of them.
Alright guys, good morning. It's another day. Got my dad here. And we're gonna start working on this head. We have this what would you call this? Spring compressor?
Yeah,
handheld.
valve spring compressor.
We're gonna see if we can use it to compress the spring. It works, we've done it before.
There we go.
It's all the way. That's it. You covered the spring being compressed, I didn't even see it.
Oh well, I get the idea. Ah. Get some seals on there. Let me see.
Should be able to push the valve down.
It's got this is a little rubber seal,
You should be doing it the other way.
and then this has got a shim to shim the spring. Yeah, look at all that in there.
Oh yeah.
That's where the water sat. But you know what? It's actually in pretty good shape. We're gonna fix it right up. It should be fine. No problem.
Here's the valve.
Definitely yummy.
Yeah, definitely needs what we're doing here. I don't have very good lighting.
No, the light's terrible right here.
You gotta turn the head the other way and lean it this way so they can see.
Okay, do whatever you want. Want to move it? Let me just clean it. This is kind of bad lighting. I can't even see in there. Better? Look at that, huh? Much cleaner.
That's a lot better than what it was.
Yeah, it's just a little bit. Like these heads were recently redone, but some moisture got in there, and we're just gonna clean that moisture up.
See, it's not turning out to be a big deal after all. It is something that needs to be done so it'll run properly and make sure that the valve is going to seat properly, but it's not, they're not ruined, they're not pitted or anything like that. They're still in good shape. We got to it just in time.
Yeah.
So we're putting on
Lapping grease.
the lapping grease. It's like super fine sandpaper, basically.
Yep.
You got this laminate on there, or if we just push it on there?
It won't suck on there.
You can definitely hear the grit in it.
Yeah.
And that's it already, huh?
Let's see what the valve looks like. The valve is a little bit pitted, but yeah, it's not too bad. You see how it's got that mark? That's showing that the valve is going to seat. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you could see the
clean line.
the fresh cut line on the head there. That's where the valve is. That's where the valve is gonna seat. Actually, didn't even take that long. I thought we were gonna be here for a while doing that. Went by pretty quick.
Yeah, not too bad. Probably do a little more.
Alright, so we are done with the first valve, and you can see that freshly cut ring all the way around it. That's what you want it to look like. That looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I like it. Now we have to do this valve, and this valve, and these other two are fine. Alright, so it is another day. We are out here working on the truck. We are ready to put the heads on. We got our bolts. We got the heads cleaned up. We did the not three angle valve job, but we cleaned up the seats on the valves. So we're gonna try to get the heads on today, and we even bought some paint. I guess my dad decided that he wanted to paint the engine black, so that's what we're gonna do. But in order for me to put the heads on, I have to get the block ready. So I'm gonna get the razor blade, and I'm gonna clean up the entire surface where the head goes. We got head gaskets. Local auto parts store happened to have a gasket set. Came with head gaskets, came with exhaust manifold, intake manifold, and a few other little things. So I'm gonna get working on that. Then after I get it all scraped up, I'm gonna vacuum clean all the cylinders, make sure I get all the junk, and we'll be good to go. I'm gonna do one side at a time. I don't want to uncover the entire engine. It's a little windy out here, so I'm gonna do this side, clean it up, vacuum, cover it, and then do this same thing to this side. All right, so I got the passenger side block, the top of the block. I got that cleaned up, but some of these pistons, they had like some water in them, I guess. And this back piston, you can see it doesn't really look that great. So I have I'm gonna be using some blaster, some BB blaster. Just so you guys know, blaster. I'm sure you guys all know blaster. I'm gonna spray some in there, and then I have some Scotch-Brite just to scuff it up. So I cleaned up the cylinders. They look a lot better. They're not perfect, but we don't want to go in there with a dingleberry hone or something like that, because we're not trying to remove a bunch of material from the bore, because everything's already set with piston rings and whoever set it before. We just want to get it cleaned up. So it's kind of what they look like now. What are you laughing about over there? Why are you laughing? Because you that's your favorite word, the dingleberry horn.
It sounds so funny when you said, "Oh, we're not gonna go in there with a dingleberry horn." Dingleberry horn.
Well, you know what I mean. It's that thing you put on the drill that has the plastic ball on it. You know, you get the drift. My dad's over there losing his mind. So, if you remember, we did have a stud that was broken, so we're gonna go through with the tap and we're gonna clean all of the threads out. So, preparation to putting the heads on, because we don't want to go in there and break a stud, obviously. So, we were able to get the stud removed relatively easy, but we still have to make sure they're clean before we go in with the new bolts. And the new bolts came with like red thread locker already on the bolts, but we're gonna put our own sort of like what is that stuff called? We got like a Teflon, or because all of these bolts go into water jackets, so we have to make sure that they're sealed.
It's just a Forma gasket sealant liquid. Ruben said it doesn't get hard.
So this is what we're gonna put on all the bolts.
Because they go into the water jacket and this doesn't harden.
So that's what we're doing right now. All right, so we got this stud right here, this threads that it's getting stuck. It's not going very well.
That's the one that had the broken one.
We believe this one had the broken stud in it. Comes to a stop right there. That's tight. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Okay, we'll back it out now a little bit.
Take it all the way out. Let's clean it off. What a dummy.
See if I can set you guys up with a... That doesn't look that good in there.
Okay. Go a little bit.
See, it's already tough.
Bring it out now.
Show the camera. So there's some metal and stuff on there. The camera doesn't want to focus on it. Let's see if the camera will focus on it. It doesn't want to focus on it. But you can see those little shards and stuff on there. Yeah, that does not feel very good.
Don't keep going. Just stop right there. Let me check and see how long it is first.
So I don't think the camera is gonna be able to show it, but when you look down the threads, there's something in there, down further. And what we did was obviously we have the heads off, so we put the bolt in the head and we marked it to see how far the bolt's gonna go down in the head, and then we marked the tap to see how far the tap goes. So at the moment, the tap is going further down into the block than the head bolt would. So as long as we can tighten it down, and you got to remember that the gasket is going to take up some of that space.
I think that's part of the casting of the block in there. I don't think there's actually anything in there. I just don't think that the head bolt goes down that far, and it's the shortest one goes there, so we should be okay.
So now that we determined that the head bolt is not going to go as far as our tap did, and then you got to account the thickness of the gasket. So I think we're going to call that good, because it should go down there just fine. Because alright guys, this is another day of working on the Chevy C20, and things got from good to worse, or things got bad yesterday. We decided to drain out the oil, and I wasn't filming because I was like pretty confident it was just oil in there, but I was 100% wrong. Took the drain plug out, a ton of water came out of the oil pan, so that is bad news. So what we're gonna do now, plans have changed. We're not gonna put the heads on, and we're gonna pull the engine out, because now we have to take off the oil pan and take a look at everything that's in there because of all the water that was sitting in there. So that's the new plan. We're gonna get after it. We're gonna get this motor out today.
See, let it go.
I'll drop it. So we got all the converter bolts out, torque converter bolts out, and then I got the 2 bolts that connect the transmission to the block on this side out. Just got the starter moved up out of the way, and I got 2 more bolts on this side, and then we gotta do 2 top, and then we should be looking pretty good. Be able to pull it out. Probably transmission lines are gonna be in the way maybe, but we'll get there eventually.
See if it made any difference.
Are you gonna use this?
Yeah, let me
Are you done with the vacuum?
No, that's what I have to wait.
Look like it came undone already, huh?
Yep. Okay, pull it forward from there. Give the jack a little pump. The jack over there.
Can you see it?
A little more. More. All right.
Right there?
Yeah, might be okay. Pull on. Okay, it's disconnected.
Grandma, you want one of these? Mom. Nico.
Yeah, there's another bolt holding those on in the underneath there somewhere. We just couldn't see them.
When you're done, will you do one? Are you almost done?
Chain might be too long still. Pull it
Well,
forward.
we'll build a snake now.
Maybe we could turn it.
I know we're gonna keep going until we're close to the. Is this gonna stay?
We'll keep going until I get close to that.
You gonna twist it, or how you want this?
Yeah, turn it. Okay, pick. Make sure it's not getting caught on anything over
No,
there.
we're good over here.
No?
We're
Okay.
getting close to the head again now.
Okay, back. Okay, pull it.
I think we're barely gonna miss it. Maybe if you take off the water pump. I keep saying water pump. We're close to the head. We can move forward now though.
Pull it forward a little bit, right there. And that torque converter does only have 3 volts. There you have it. In a bad spot now.
No, we still got room. Still got room. Move forward a little bit more. But I see what you're saying now, because we're not going to be able to clear the top of the hood there.
There's also a bar.
What if the chain was shorter?
Chain's pretty short. It's shorter than what we normally do.
I want
No, there's no more. James has it. James, give her the car.
Keep going. We're not touching yet. Now we're touching.
There's a bolt hole right there. There's a bolt inside there.
You did not eat it. Put that.
Okay, pull it.
Put a little piece.
Put that down over there.
I need my tripod. Stand it up right here. That's what I need.
Mom, you done now?
Go ahead, pull it. Okay. Okay. Jack it up now. Go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be touching the hood right now.
Okay, pull it. Pull it, just pull it. Pull it.
Touching the hood.
Pull it. Pull it. Pull it.
There it is.
It's a brand new flywheel.
Just took out the thing. Just took out the engine. That where you go to my Robin?
Put it down.
What happened to the oil?
It's water.
So I have the transmission held up right now with some wire. We're gonna see what happens. Should be fine. Do it all the time.
There she be.
Good enough.
Yep.
All right, so the whole plan wasn't to take the engine out of the truck. We didn't want to, but it's not a big deal to take out the engine. The only reason why we did is because all of the water that came out of the oil pan. So to make sure that we do things right and not to go through all the work to start it up for it to blow up, we want to take it apart and make sure everything in the pan is okay, or if it's rusty, whatever it is, we're gonna have to address that. So the engine's on the stand. We're gonna have to probably pull all the lifters out. They might fall out when we flip it over, but probably not. It might be okay.
We're gonna make sure they stay in there. I don't want to take them out.
You don't want to take them out?
No, I don't want to take them out. Just gonna drop the oil pan, clean it all up, paint it up, put it back in.
Well, that's if
what we hope we
everything
do.
is okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't have to rebuild it. But if we have to rebuild it, then we have to rebuild it because we want to do things right.
Yeah, right.
All right, guys, with that said, stay tuned for the next video to see what goes down with this engine, to see what we find on the oil pan. I appreciate you guys watching, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and remember to get out there and fix them.